people join us a few minutes late, that's fine. I don't want to keep all of you waiting, so we'll go ahead and kick it off. Hi, everybody. I'm Ari Strasser. I'm here with our fall virtual masterclass series from ArtsBridge, and we're so excited that you're here to join us. We started this series in the summer as a way to sort of gear up toward the summer program that happened in late July, early August. And we had so much fun with the students and the faculty, and it became more than just gearing up toward the summer program, and we quite enjoyed them. So we wanted to continue them. We also had such a wonderful time at the summer program this year. And so just seeing the way students are able to work online and faculty are able to work online, it's amazing what you all have done. So we are so excited to continue this. It also hopefully will give you a taste of kind of what it's like to work this way online. We have a couple of workshops coming up, an acting workshop in middle of November, and Steve Cardamone, who's here tonight, is going to be teaching at that workshop. And then we have another musical theater workshop coming up in December. So if you enjoy yourself tonight and you think, I'd like to do that, but for longer than an hour, and maybe I want to work my material too, you can check out our workshops online as well. So we'll definitely introduce all the faculty and students here, but I first want to introduce my colleague, Hannah Uher, that's here tonight. Hi, Hannah.
Hello, Ari. Thank you for the intro. Like Ari said, before we get into the introductions and we start, getting to what you all came here for, I'll just go over a couple of quick housekeeping things. Feel free to use the Q&A feature on Zoom throughout. We'll hopefully be able to get to most of your questions, maybe during if they're about the pieces, or at the end if not. If you have any questions about, ArtsBridge programs or consulting or anything super specific, you can feel free to email us as well at info@artsbridge.com if you have something that's more specific, and we'd be happy to help you out there. A couple other things, like Ari mentioned, we have some workshops coming up, so definitely check those out on our website. And then we also have more of these master classes. So if you enjoy yourself tonight, we have another for MT and Acting November 18th, and then one for classical voice in just a few weeks on October 21st. So we hope to see some of you there as well. Let's see. Last thing that I'll do, I will post in the chat a link to a Dropbox folder, and that will have all the PDFs of the pieces the students are going to work on right now. So you can see the monologues, you can see the sheet music, and follow along if you'd like. So I will post that now, just so you all can see. And let me know. Hopefully you
Got
all
it.
have that. I think that's it, Ari, for
Yeah,
the housekeeping. We can
fabulous.
get started.
Yeah, we can share some of those, website links if you need them later on tonight too. So yeah, I just would like to introduce to you Steve Cardamone from University of Minnesota. Hi, Steve.
Hi. Good to see you.
Awesome. And then we have Rick Edinger from Carnegie Mellon. Hi, Rick.
Hi, everyone.
Awesome. And so we have also 3 students with us tonight, and these are all students who came to ArtsBridge Summer. So it's very exciting, selfishly, just for me to see you all again as well. Felicia Chang, who's here from California. Is that right?
Yeah, hello.
Awesome. Hannah Bogan, also from California, right?
Hi, yeah, I'm from California.
Fabulous. And Matthew Diston from Miami, Florida.
Hi.
Awesome. So without further ado, I would like to invite Felicia to go ahead and kick it off for us with Steve and Rick. I'll let Steve and Rick kind of take over from here.
Nice. Hi, Felicia.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm really good. How are you?
Great. Well, I guess it's not nighttime yet there, huh?
Yeah, it's not night.
Good.
It's like 4.
Lucky you. All right. So what do you want to start with? I know you have a song and a monologue. What do you like to do first?
I'd like to start with my song.
Awesome. Cool. And can you tell us what it is and what it's from?
Yes. I'll be singing I Don't Know His Name from She Loves Me.
Awesome. Whenever you're ready.
I don't know his name or have a much more certain guide. I can tell exactly what he looks like inside. I know the kind of home we share, the books, the prints, the music there, a home, a life that's warm and full and rich in love and art. Oh, I don't need to see his handsome profile. I don't need to see his manly frame. All I need to know is in each letter, each long, revealing letter. I couldn't know him better if I knew his name.
Bravo.
Beautiful work. Nice.
Yeah.
Steve, do we want to just tackle a bit of the song right now, and then,
Go for it, Rick.
we'll move into the monologue after?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Cool. Felicia, what a lovely instrument and fun storytelling with this piece. You know, this is a really tricky piece because it has all these really chromatic passages, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I like to think about often is, why do we have all of these chromatic passages, right? Because we have all of the, like the rest of this score, not all of it, but much of this score also relies on these sort of chromatic builds, right? Where we don't feel any sense of center or grounding, right? So one thing that I want you to be careful of is how the consonants play into your line, right? Into your vocal line, right? Like storytelling's beautiful. You sound very much like you're following sort of speech-like qualities in most of this, which is great, exactly what we want, especially in these A sections. Surprise, I'm sitting at my piano. Great. So what I want you to be careful of is sometimes I'm hearing a lot of effort being put into every single consonant, and it's sort of stopping your breath. And then when we get to that really open B phrase of, you cut it to here, right? I know the kind of home we share. All of that stuff, right? We had a little bit of trouble getting into like consistent airflow, right?
Yeah.
So even though we can clip some of the notes, we want to make sure that the airflow still stays steady, right? I don't know his name or what he looks like, right? Like as if we're sighing through those consonants as well. Cool? So I want you to just be a little bit more gentle on some of those consonants so we don't get so much of that back pressure of name or what he looks like. Yeah? Cool. Can we try a little bit of that? You can do it a cappella for right now if you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more
Yeah,
certain guide.
oh, but let's do that one more time. Sorry. Yes, that's great. Sometimes I get really excited when you're doing it right. I don't know his name or what he looks like. Right? I mean, there's this sort of juxtaposition going on throughout this song where we're in the reality of like the rational aspect, the pragmatic side of this character is like, what on earth am I doing, right? And then there's this other side of like, but everything in these letters has been so right and so real and so dreamy and perfect, right? And that to me is where the chromaticism is really at play, right? I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a dream of what he looks like, right? Like, so there's all of that, and I think that you can use the breath to help you navigate that and paint that a little bit more. Cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So keep that airflow in those ascending chromatic lines. That's awesome. Good. Go for it.
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more certain guide.
Good. So be careful, right? So, like, I don't mind that you break the phrase at, I don't know his name or what he looks like, right? That's where we get the release of the breath. Cool? So don't change your choice there. It's a great choice. I love it. Cool? Just keep that airflow moving through the second part of the phrase. Go for it one more time. Lovely.
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more certain guide.
Good. So what would happen if, so rather than playing into the shape of the melodic phrase, but I have a much more, right? Which is the same way we sort of phrased the first phrase. What if we actually sang through that much so that it becomes one continuous thought? But I have a much more certain guide. Yeah? Cool. Try that phrase for me once.
But I have a much more certain
Stay
guide.
on the vowel on much, but I have a much more, and put the ch right before the more. Yeah? Just trying that.
But I have a much, but I have a much more certain guide.
Right? It's hard to break some of those old habits, right? Let's try it one more time. The barely put a ch on there. Think right until more. But I have a much more certain. Yeah?
But I have a much more certain guide.
Yes, put that together with the first phrase, so that now we have the full antecedent section.
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more certain guide. I can tell,
Good. Yeah, keep going. I can tell.
I can tell exactly what he looks like inside.
Yes. Now, doesn't that align? Like, I feel like sometimes we feel like sometimes we put a hat on a hat with the music. Like, the music is telling us exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. In terms of the way things are phrased. So the thing that I find tricky with this song is that often, because the phrases are sort of symmetrical or repetitive, is that we end up making the exact same phrasing choices from phrase to phrase, even though it doesn't always make sense based on the text.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know his name or what he looks like is great to break, but I have a much more certain guide leads us to a new place of I can tell exactly what he looks like inside. Right? Cool. Yay. Can we just do it just for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to pass you off into your monologue here. Can we do the bridge? I know the...
Yes.
Go for it. Yeah, let's just dive into it there.
I know the kind of home we share. The books, the prints, the music there. A home, a life that's warm and full and rich in love and art. I don't need to see.
Good. I want to stop you right there. Right? Like, I think in the music, and folks, if you're not following along in the music right here, am I allowed to? No, not right now. Okay, so if you're following along in the music right there, you can see at the top of page 3, it says a home, a life that's warm and full, rich in love and art. Right? There is a rallentando built in there. Why is there a rallentando there for you?
I think for me, at least, it's me like being all dreamy and daydreamy about like thinking about everything, like how this home is.
Good. So when does that shift start to happen for you? When do you let yourself go into that dream? Because I ultimately want to hear that in your voice of where we start connect, like you get through the books, the prints, the music there. And at what point do we start falling into that dream of what life will be with him?
For me, I think it's a life.
Ooh, nice. So at that point, can we start feeling the buttery connection from vowel to vowel to vowel, right? That just makes us hang on every syllable so that rallentando is really motivated by you and falling into that dream as opposed to, well, the music says to do it, right? Not that I
Yeah.
feel like you're doing that. You're doing a fantastic work with it. Cool. I know the kind. Cool?
I know the kind of home we share. The books, the prints, the music there. A home, a life that's warm and full and rich in love and art. I don't need to see.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I mean, so folks who are just watching that, yes, she didn't necessarily connect the vowels. We didn't necessarily connect note to note. But what I saw Felicia doing now is connecting the thought that is connecting all of those notes. And that ultimately, if that's there, if that falling into that dream moment is there and present for you, I could sit there and just watch you and not care about whether or not those vowels are aligned, right? Because it's making sense of what the music is telling us. Really, really, really nice work, Felicia. You
Thank
have
you
you have
so
such a
much.
bright future ahead of you. I'm very
Thank
excited.
you so much, Rick.
So, like, have fun with your college auditions, friends. We are in a weird time. Take it for what it is, and enjoy yourself. Make some beautiful art and share it with people. Okay?
You're here.
Yeah. All right.
Great. Felicia, let's go to your monologue. What are you going to do?
I will be doing Cressida's monologue from Troilus and Cressida.
Do it.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me heart. Prince Troilus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months. I was won, my lord, with the first glance that ever... Oh, pardon me. If I confess much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but till now not so much, but I might master it. In faith I lie, my thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong for their mother. See, we fools! Oh, why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not, and yet, good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet bid me hold my tongue. For in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. Stop my mouth. Oh, where's my wit? I know not what I speak.
Good. Good. Really nice sense to the language. Very specific. The lights just went out in the room. It's a motion sensor thing. So, but I've got some side lights, so I'll stay here. So good. Very nice. Now, you already have a sense of when she opens up to him and when she resists. Okay. Why? Why is it so hard for her to finally say that she loves him?
I think it's hard to say because in this time period,
Yeah.
girls were like, you gotta wait for the man. But then she's like, I just want to say it.
That's great. And that's exactly right. Yeah. And it's time period, right? The war is happening. This is during the Trojan War, and Troilus is going out to fight every day. And there's been a lot of silent looks between you two, but he's not saying anything. It's driving you crazy. So finally, you break decorum. You break from being that respectable, good girl that you're taught by your parents, and be protective and be silent and let the person come to you, let the man come to you. But finally you can't do it anymore. So you're already sensing where those back and forth shifts are. But let's make more of those. This is a thing in Shakespeare called antithesis, everybody. And antithesis is the number one rhetorical device that all writers use. Right? It's in our wedding vows. If I said to you, for better, how would you finish that?
Or for worse.
For richer,
Or for poor.
in sickness,
And through thinness.
close, in health.
Oh.
Sure, you got time. You don't have to worry about marriage vows anytime soon. All right? So we think antithetically, and sometimes Shakespeare will deal with antithetical words. Rick was pointing out, he said, making sense of what the music is telling you to do. Well, with Shakespeare, the words are the music. Right? He's very, very musical, very, very rhythmic. Yeah, there's a tempo, there's a beat, there are shifts. So what we want to do is, and you already are finding them, let's just see if we can make more of them physically. So here's what I'd like you to try to do. Anytime the Cressida is wearing her heart on her sleeve and is just opening up and saying, to heck with it, I don't care, I'm going to tell you, is I want you to come as close to the camera as you can, okay? Put the camera is Troilus, okay? But then when you catch yourself being like, oh no, I'm not, this is not safe. Oh, I forgot what Daddy taught me. I want you to back up all the way to against the wall.
Okay.
Okay. And when you feel like you're in neutral gear, like, what am I doing? I don't know. Should I go this way or this way? I don't know what to do. You can be where you are right now.
Okay.
Okay? And
Yeah.
let's see how far we can go. With antithesis, you want to stretch them. You want to go from A to Z.
Mm-hmm.
And the more of that you do, the more opposite that you create, the more opposition. Opposition is nice in drama to have, and it can also lead to more humor
Mm-hmm.
in this case.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
So to it. Have fun.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me heart. Prince Troilus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months. I was won, my lord, with the first glance that Oh, pardon me! If I confess much, you will play the tyrant. But I love you now. Till now, not so much, but am I mastered? In faith, I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong for their mother. See? We fools! Oh, why have I blabbed? We shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves. But though I loved you well, I wooed you not.
Good.
And yet, good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet bid me hold my tongue. For in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. Oh, stop my mouth. Where's my wit? I know not what I speak.
Okay, good. You just open that up a little bit more. And it's always nice, especially when you do monologues, even in Zoom, we can get a sense of how you move, right? Because the body is part of the equation too. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
love that it's more physical. For me, that was more humorous. And also the stakes seem higher.
Yeah.
It's really important in monologue. You know, people don't want to see a day in the life because a day in the life can be pretty mundane. I want to see what's extraordinary about this situation.
Yeah.
What is extreme? Let's see what the stakes should be high. If it's not important to you, the character, it's not going to be important to me, the listener, right? So that was really rich and invested. Okay. Now, when she says "stop my mouth," what does she mean?
I want him to like kiss me.
Good. Is that what she means, or does she mean to say, "Oh, keep me quiet. I got to be quiet"? What do you
I
think?
think she means both.
Okay, let's play with something here, okay? I'm going to be Troilus. So when you say "stop my mouth," can you mean, "Oh, just tell me not to say anymore"? Okay? And then I'm going to give you something, and I want you to react to what I give you, okay? So let's go from, for in this rapture, I shall surely speak.
For in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. Stop my mouth.
You want me to kiss you?
Where's my wit? I know not what I speak.
If you treat that like a discovery of, "Oh, no, that's so embarrassing," you know, like, "No, I wasn't asking for a kiss. I know not what I speak." It could be another little comedic little moment in that.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're probably at time. I want to make sure we stay on time. But I could work with you on this for days because you're in such great shape with it. Really
Thank
nice work.
you.
Really great with the language, Felicia. Really nice.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Yeah.
Thank you, Felicia. And Hannah's here. Hello, Hannah Bogan.
Hi.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let Steve and Rick take it.
All right. Hi, Hannah. So, Hannah, you've prepared 2 monologues for us. Which one do you want to start with today?
I am going to start with the one from The Dream of the Burning Boy.
Okay, cool. Go for it whenever you're ready.
My camera down a little bit. When should I go back? All the teachers are like totally freaked out right now. It's so awesome. Like I was in drama and we're doing this improv role-playing thing, which is supposed to be funny, but I was in this one scene and I was like a farmer's wife or something. And Gary Luke was trying to sell a robot goat. And we were arguing and people were laughing, but then I just got really into it. And I was like, oh, we need this robot goat. The whole fucking robot farm depends on it. And then I started crying. Not real tears, but I sort of collapsed and hid my face so it looked like I was crying. Everyone just got really quiet. And I was all curled up in a ball. I was just thinking, like, how long can I stay like this before someone actually makes me get up? 2.5 minutes. Finally, Mr. Salvati comes over, and I look up at him, and he's got tears in his eyes. Real tears. So yeah, all of a sudden, I'm like a straight A student.
Okay. All right. Good, 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 good. So this piece, yeah, is it past tense or present tense?
Both.
When it starts present tense, and then she tells a story that just happened to her, right? Okay. So this is what I call a story piece, because most of it is I'm retelling something that happened to me previously. And I think you can use them in auditions. It can be great pieces, but I think the trap is there has to be a reason for retelling the story, because if there isn't, then you're just being descriptive, and descriptive isn't dramatic. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the W's. Okay. Who are you speaking to?
My dead brother's ex-girlfriend. That's always a weird thing to say.
Okay. Your dead brother's ex-girlfriend. Okay. All right. What just happened?
So she's been crying all day, and right now she just asked me why I went back to school so soon after my brother died.
Okay. All right. Now, why? Why are you telling her the story? What do you, in other words, what's the need? What do you hope to gain?
I need to show her that I'm winning in the way that that's like everyone's paying attention to her. She's designing the insert in the school newspaper that's like in memoriam to him, and she's the one doing like interviews with the local news and etc. when I was his sister, but I'm the one winning because I'm getting all of this.
Okay. All right, good. That's actually a really good active need to play. All right. So impress. Yeah. Tell her that this is what happened to me. So it can be a little bit more active in terms of this is my objective. I'm not just telling you a story. I'm telling you the story so that you can see I'm winning, so that you can be impressed by me, so that you can see I am somebody. Yeah. And I would make this even more personal and say, this is somebody that your character is somebody who is not used to getting the limelight, who oftentimes might be passed over. And so all of a sudden, you had the entire attention of the room. You were captivating. Yeah. You had a teacher who didn't even know you existed, let's say Mr. Salvati. Yeah. But he came over and he stone-faced. And all of a sudden, he was actually in tears because I was so good. Yeah, so you're always coming back to what is my intention? My intention is to impress. My intention is to kind of assert myself. Okay? So I want you to kind of take it again, and this time I want you to kind of boast the details more. Flaunt yourself a little bit more. Nobody else, all these big drama students, they weren't able to do what I did, but I had the damn room, excuse me. I had the whole room. Yeah? Because that's how good I am. All right. So, and one other thing I want to start with is moment before, everybody, is so important because those 15 seconds are crucial. Yeah. That you have to be invested from the beginning. You can't say, I'm going to warm into the piece because the auditor may not warm in to the piece with you. So you got to start out of the gate strong. So what could that character have said to you that would prompt an emotional response from you?
She's asked me why I went back to school so soon.
Okay.
In
Now,
a way of like, I'm not really sad over my brother's death.
okay. All right. Good, 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 good. So start with a secret. Oh, secrets are really, really, they pull you in, the listener, because it's human nature to want to know what the secrets are. So if I can see, where do I tell you what happened? All right. Pull me in. Start with some intrigue when you're ready.
When should I go back? All the teachers are like totally freaked out right now. It's so awesome. Like I was in drama and we're doing this improv role-playing thing, which is supposed to be funny, but I was in this one scene. I was like a farmer's wife or something. And Gary Luke was trying to sell our robot goat. And we were arguing and people were laughing, but then I just got really into it. And I was like, no, we need this robot goat. The whole fucking robot farm depends on it. And then I started crying. Like, not real tears, but I sort of collapsed and hid my face so it looked like I was crying. And I got a big ball. And I was just thinking, how long can I stay like this before somebody actually makes me get up? 2.5 minutes. Finally, Mr. Salvati comes over, and I look up at him, and he's got tears in his eyes. Real tears. So yeah, all of a sudden, I'm like a straight A student.
Nice adjustments. Good, Hannah. Yeah, when you say 2.5 minutes, beat that. 2.5 minutes, right? I mean, that's like, that's like top echelon acting right there. That's how long it took, right? And the guy came, he had tears in his eyes. The guy never is emotional, but he was weeping like a baby because of me. So celebrate those moments more where you rocked it. Yeah? That was nice. That was nice. And it was awesome. You can celebrate that a little bit more. The only thing I would add to this, because that was richer now, check in with the other more, the person you're speaking to. Find those little moments that, did you get that? It's right? And realize, oh, that person doesn't seem impressed yet. So I'm going to lay it on even thicker. Oh, so I'm going to make this even more elaborate. Okay? But I like where it's going. Rick, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, Hannah, that was a really nice adjustment. Really great work there. I do notice a little bit that like sort of the tessitura of your voice tends to sort of stay sort of like locked in one space, which can happen. But also like dynamic range within that, just within your vocal quality, right, can also be played with a little bit more. I think sometimes we have to turn off our external hearing, well, especially when we're trying to make adjustments within this work, because we have this expectation of what this monologue sounds like, because you've done it so many times, I'm sure. Is this a relatively new monologue for you, or something that you've been working on for a while?
Quinn Gordon actually gave it to me when I was at
Oh, cool. So over the summer from ArtsBridge. Awesome. I mean, it's in really great shape, but I know that like in sort of like beating these into our heads to get them ready for our pre-screens and for live auditions and things of that nature. One easy technique to just like make sure that you stay free to vocal choices, just go back through, do this entire monologue completely whispered without ever phonating, right? When should I go back? All the teachers are totally freaked out right now. Right? Like, just so that we really lock back into what the text is and not what the tone of our voice and color of our voice is, right? So that way we're a little bit freer the next time to dive into any choice, right? Might be a good like little warm up to do out in the hallway, just to keep your voice sort of loose and limber, so we can make new choices too. Good, really beautiful work, awesome.
Right. Should we go to Paulina? Okay.
What studied torments tyrant hast for me? What wheels, racks, fires? What flaying, boiling, and leads or oils? What older, newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? Thy tyranny, together working with thy jealousies, fancies too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of 9. Oh, think what they have done, and then run mad indeed. Stark mad. For all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing, that did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful. Nor was it much thou wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor to have him kill a king. Poor trespasses more monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire ere done it.
Okay, all right, good. I knew there was more. I'm like, there's more to the speech, but that's where you cut it. Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right, good. So look at everybody. If you have this copy, you can look at it. In the middle of the speech, "But thou betrayedst Polixenes," that line. From that line on, do you know how many sentences this piece is? Can you guess, Hannah?
I've done this before, and I would know better if I had
If
looked
you
at
looked,
it.
sure, if you saw it.
But I think it's like 2 or even 1.
One. And even with the cutting, there's like 5 more lines to it. It
Yeah.
still would be the same thought. So you picked a monster of a piece, a great piece. It's very challenging because Shakespeare sometimes writes in these longer thoughts. And what you have to do as an actor is you got to make sure that the thought builds like a snowball going down a hill. It's going to gain momentum and it's going to gain size. And that's where you want it. You want to drive this long thought all the way through to, if we weren't cutting it, the queen is dead. And vengeance for it not dropped down yet. That's what you're building to. But you're going to list all these other just minor atrocities and sins that you've committed. And they're minor because nothing compares to the atrocity of the queen dying because of what you did, Leontes.
You want me to do the full
Okay.
piece?
So can we do something, Hannah? Can we actually, because we're running out of time, can we go from the "thou betrayedst Polixenes"?
Yeah.
And what I'm going to ask you to do is, I want you to imagine you have a ball. Okay? And what I'd like you to do, I want you to try to sense where the verse line ends. And the last word in the verse line, I want you to throw the ball physically out and up. And I want to put the word is the ball. So you're putting that final word on the ball. And then I'm going to build to the next thought. And then I'm going to keep going to the next thought all the way through to the end, air, fire, air, done it. Okay? And if you don't know where the verse line ends, I'll coach you. I'll tell you. So let's go from "that thou betrayedst Polixenes" was nothing.
That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful. Nor was it much that wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor to have him kill.
Camillo's honor.
Camillo's honor to have him kill a king. For trespasses more monstrous standing by. Whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter.
Thy baby daughter.
The casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be none or little. That would devil would have shed water out of fire ere done it.
Ere done it. And there's done is the last one. Now let's do that again. This time I'll be quiet.
Okay.
All right, and see if you can find those. But already, that's what that does is it helps you land the thought and then drive it forward. It never ends. It just builds.
Mm-hmm.
Try it again.
With the physical ball throwing?
Go ahead. I think so because the body, it helps. The body informs the speaking. Yeah.
That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant and damnable and grateful. Nor was it much that wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor to have him kill a king. For trespasses more monstrous standing by. Whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be none or little. That devil would have shed water out of fire ere done it.
Good. It has more energy. It has more pop, more stakes. And oddly, that's actually clearer to my ears. You're more invested, and I follow that more. So that's how Shakespeare's verse structure can help inform the acting and the speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, I love how physical your work is. Hannah, that physicality that Steve just introduced to you there with the ball throwing is engaging like the psoas muscle, engaging a lot of the muscular structures that then help us produce sound. And what was interesting about that was the vocal effect that it had on your work, where before we were getting sort of like living in this one sort of isolated world. Suddenly now where it's rich with color, with pitch, with dynamic range. I would continue playing with that. That's awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That's so great.
That's great, Hannah. You always, Hannah was a student over the summer, work with, and she just adjusts, and she's fantastic, and it's inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you. It was really good to work with you. Thank you so much.
No, appreciate it.
Thank you, Hannah. Matthew, do you want to join us?
Yes, I do. Hi.
Hi, Matthew. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great. I'm loving this blue ball behind us. So
Thank you.
I love it. Okay. You have a song and a monologue. Which one would you like to start with tonight?
I think I'm going to start off with my song and then go into my monologue.
Okay, great. Let's do it. What are you singing? What are we monologuing?
I'm going to be singing Marry Me a Little from Company, and then I'm going to be doing Iago's speech from Othello.
Okay, cool.
Oh, how gently we'll talk. Oh, how softly we'll tread. All the stings, the ugly things we'll keep unsaid. We'll build a cocoon of love and respect. You promised whatever you like, I'll never collect. Right? Okay, then. I'm ready. I'm ready now. Somewhere. I'm ready.
Nice. Nothing like a nice light sing on a Wednesday evening. Matthew, so your answering is just absolutely stunning. I adore hearing you. I know this is the second time I've gotten to work with you here. Um, so, last time, do you remember what it is that we talked about?
We talked about exploring more of the softness in the piece and why am I singing soft in these notes and why it's so important to build up volume at certain parts of the song.
Right, right. Because for folks who weren't with us the last time we explored, we actually explored more of the beginning of this than we did the end of this.
Yeah.
Now here we're in the second part of the song and really the last portion of the song. But Sondheim is very specific. I've worked with him several times, right?
Yes.
He's very specific in the way he um, not just notates the music, notes and rhythms, which are all very complex and difficult, but also with dynamic levels. Dynamic levels in a Sondheim score are almost like a stage direction,
Oh yeah.
but written by the playwright, not by, like the stage manager after the fact when this goes into publication, right?
Yes.
So those things influence how we interact with our scene partner, the choices that we make. So you always want to keep an eye on those. This is more for everyone rather than just you right now.
Yes.
But like our mezzo fortes in Sondheim's music, you'll notice most of the score of Into the Woods is mezzo forte. It's
Yeah.
sort of at like a speaking quality, right? Like as loud as I'm talking to you right now, that's sort of the vocal world that it's going to live in musically. And you can justify it however you want, as long as whatever your action is or your tactic is behind that work lives in sort of a speech level world. Once we
Yes.
drop below that mezzo piano, it starts coming into ourselves a little bit or starts becoming an aside with one other character. Once it gets into a piano, it starts becoming a whisper. And why do I have to whisper? Why do I have to keep this to myself? Why can't I send this out to the next the person that I'm speaking to, right? And then those fortes, which you have at the end of this, you might even, do you have a fortissimo? No. You rarely see a fortissimo in his music, but sometimes, right? Okay then is mezzo forte. I'm ready now. And then we have big crescendos, right? Someone, yay. And in the high key, yay. Okay, so sir,
Yes.
what I want to play with this is actually how we can bring this more into the speaky world of Sondheim. Like we have these beautiful, luscious lines, and you have such a gorgeous voice, but I never want this to be about your voice. Sondheim is never about the voice, always about the words. Can we pull over the one of those chairs and can we put just maybe angle your camera down? Is that possible?
Yeah, the chairs are a little low,
Okay.
so I
All
can
right.
actually maybe I can get a bench because I have a bench at the piano.
Don't worry about that.
All right.
I just want you to be as comfortable and in your body as humanly possible, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
taking out our lower body and sitting down and grounding us, putting our center of gravity sometimes can help that. So you can try that after. But what I want you to do is I want you to place your scene partner. We're going to close the distance between you and your scene partner. Where is your scene partner right now? Oh, do you have a stage hand?
It's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, my
Thank you. Like stage right deckhand. I love that. That was awesome. Okay, family. Okay, Matthew.
Yes.
What I want you to do is close. Where is your scene partner when you're singing to them right now? When you're speaking with them?
Right in front of me, actually.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
How hard do you have to work when someone's right in front of you?
Not too hard. Not
Like,
necessarily too
in
hard.
order for you, I'm gonna demonstrate right here. In order for you to understand, right? I'm gonna bring my mic in closer to me. I'm gonna come right into the camera. In order for you to understand what it is that I'm saying, how hard do I have to work right now?
Not too hard.
Right? The level of effort goes from to, right? When we close the distance between me and my scene partner. That's going to
Yes.
affect also how we use our voice, right?
Yes.
So I want you to trust that we already know how gorgeous your voice is. The second you open your mouth to make a sound, we're going to know how beautiful that is. You don't have to show us. I want you to actually place that person. I mean, you're having a very intimate conversation with them if you're sitting here talking about, I'm ready to be married. Yeah. Um, I want you to place that person here, and when it seems as though they're not getting what you're saying, they're not catching what you're saying, then and only then, which shouldn't really become, at least musically, before all the stings, the ugly things,
Yes.
right? And perhaps we're not saying that because they're not getting it, but perhaps we're actually triggered in some way by those stings and those ugly things. And we have to overemphasize that just a little bit more, right? But I want you to trust that starting this in a much smaller place is enough for you. It's okay. You're good. Cool? Did you get that from me?
Yes.
Great. So that scene partner is literally like 2 inches in front of your face.
Okay.
Good. I want you to start the track. I want you to start the track again. And
Okay.
and I want you to really take your time with that build. Trust that you are enough. Trust that your voice is enough. We don't need to send this energy so heftily with our voice only.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, how gentle we'll talk. Oh, how softly we'll tread. All the stings, the ugly things we'll keep unsaid. We'll build a cocoon of love and respect. You promise whatever you like, I'll never collect. Right? Okay then. I'm ready. I'm ready now. Someone. I'm ready.
Cool. You had me through most of that build. I want you to pay attention to one little detail in the end of
Yes.
this, Okay, how did that feel in terms of like whispering, sort of that beginning? I know you were not singing full out in the beginning,
It
but
just
talk to me
it
about
just
how
felt
that feels for you.
simpler. And it made the build, like the action change from the objective from I want you to listen or I want you to believe me. It made it more easier to recognize, and staying one level added more levels of growth to the song.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. So I want you to be careful with the end because the end is a build, right? Like if we were looking at this in the same way that Steve was just looking at the text with Hannah, right? So when we have, we're going to do this in a different key. Here we go. Okay then, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Someone. Oh, right? Like every single one of these. What would happen if, okay then, I'm ready? You finally say that to your scene partner. You say, okay then. And then we do the next build to, I'm ready. And they don't receive anything that you've just been throwing at them, and they walk the heck out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
What then happens to that end?
Yeah, just start yelling.
Don't tell me. Show me.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, yay. You tell them, okay, then. Great. You can meet my demands. Awesome. I'm ready. They can't take it. They leave. Cool.
Yes.
Yay.
Do you want me to go from that little section or from this?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, however you feel comfortable getting into it.
I think I'll just go from the beginning of the cut since I'm too long.
Okay. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, how gentle we'll oh, how softly we'll tread. All the things, the ugly things we'll keep unsaid. We'll build a of love and respect. You promise whatever you like, I'll never correct. Right? Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now. Someone.
Right. I like that ending only because even if we recontextualize this and take this out of the show for audition purposes, right?
Yeah.
Still aligns with sort of the playwright's intention with what this moment is.
Oh, yeah.
And this isn't a moment of triumph for Bobby.
Nope.
Right? I don't even think it's a moment of discovery for
Not
Bobby.
even close.
Right? This is a someone I'm ready, somebody, anyone. Right?
Yes.
Cool. I love that. Really, really nice work, Matthew. You're so adjustable. It's really fun.
Thank you so much.
If you like it, take it with you. If not, don't.
I plan on it.
Wonderful both ways.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Quick check-in with Hannah. How are we doing here? Do we have time to go into Iago, or what do you think? Yes! I get a yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. Thus do I ever make my fool my purse. If I would time expend with such a snipe, but for my sports and profit, I hate the more. And it is not abroad that twixt my sheets. He holds me well. The better shall my purpose work on him. Let me see. Cassio is a proper man. Now, to take his place and plume up my will in double knavery. After some time to abuse Othello's ear that he is too familiar with his wife, he hath a smooth dispose and, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I messed up a line. Can I go back with you?
Sure, sure. Okay.
Thank you
Let's
so much.
get back to after some time.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
After some time to abuse Othello's ear, that he is too familiar with his wife, he hath a person and smooth disposed to be framed and suspected to make women foes. But the Moor is of free and open nature that thinks men honest, but seem to be so, and will so easily be led by the noses as axes are. I have it. It is engendered, hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
Okay. All right. Good. Good. So I'm going to kind of echo Rick a little bit. I think you can do less. I think you can. This is a soliloquy,
Yes.
right? Which means that the actor, the character, is alone on stage with the audience, speaking
Yes.
to the audience, right? So it can be very, very intimate. And you know what? We've got the form of Zoom. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So let's
No.
use it. Let's use
All
it.
right.
Where you are right now, I hate the Moor. Very powerful. Why not use it? Yeah, it can be very, very intimate. Okay, so I think you can kind of let this and even though it's in verse, yeah, it's very kind of like, let me tell you what I'm thinking, audience.
Yes.
Yeah, and notice how he ends with a rhyming couplet.
Yes.
Why do you think he rhymes at the end?
I feel like the reason he's rhyming because it means it represents a new discovery and the finale. It represents the conclusion, basically.
That's right. It's almost like he said to the audience, it's going to get good. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think there can be a lot of that with I think that's what's scary about Othello is if the audience actually starts to kind of like Iago,
Yeah.
right? Then it really gets creepy, right? But I think that's what he's doing. He's a master manipulator and a
sneaky.
charmer. Yeah.
100%.
So let's say approach this more with curves.
Okay.
Just speaking. You could just be you and relax, just you and the audience. You don't have to worry about putting on a front, any airs or anything to anybody. Now, in the cutting, Matthew, one little thing.
Yes.
Twixt my sheets, I think you need to finish the thought. I think it needs to be twixt my sheets, he's done my office.
Okay.
You need that he's done my office because you suspect, so you say that Othello has had relations with your wife.
Yes.
So just know that later on you might want to add that back in. I actually think you can start this monologue with "I hate the Moor." I think it's more direct. We don't know the whole thing with Rodrigo and what just happened, so we didn't witness the snipe that you talk about. What if we just start? Let me tell you something, and it starts right here. So take it right where you
I'm
are.
so
Right.
sorry.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Now, Matthew, I'm going to add one thing. When you reference Othello and Desdemona, down left. When you reference Cassio, down right.
Yeah.
Because whenever you reference multiple people in a speech, and there are a lot of pronouns, I can easily get confused unless you, the actor, match pronoun to person. All right? So I want to see your eyes go Cassio, Othello, Desdemona. All right? Take it from I hate the Moor.
I hate the Moor. And it is said abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. He holds me well. The better shall my purpose work on him. Let's see. Cassio is a proper man. Now to take his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. After some time to abuse Othello's ear that he is too familiar with his wife, he hath a person and smooth disposed to suspect, frame woman to be false. But the Moor is a free and open nature that thinks men honest that but seem to be so. He so easily be led by the noses as asses.
Big discovery. And get up on this moment. Actually stand up. Oh,
I have it.
Uh-huh.
It is engendered.
Pull me in.
Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
Good, good. Yes, good. as asses are, that line is only 4 beats long, right? Shakespeare usually writes in 10 beats. So when you have a short line like that, Shakespeare's saying there's a big dramatic pause happening in there. And I think that's what he's saying to you is Iago gets a big fat discovery, which can make you kind of change your physicality. Oh, God, I have it. And then you can come back into the camera and say, stay tuned. Yeah. So can we just go and then I'll stop, I promise. And will as tenderly be led by the nose. Can you go from there?
From there?
Yeah.
All right. And will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I have it.
Easy.
It is engendered.
Back to the camera.
Hell and night must bring this monster's birth to the world's light.
And wink. Very good. Very good. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Matthew.
so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Hannah Bogan. Thank you, Felicia. And big thank you to Steve and Rick. We're so glad you could join us for this.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So fun.
Awesome. Well, stay tuned. We have 2 more master classes, another theater one and then a classical voice one as well. Check it out, artsbridge.com. There's a master classes tab. There's also a workshops tab, and you can check out the acting and musical theater workshops coming up in November and December. And Steve will be there for the acting one in November. Thank you all so much. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Rick.
Hi, thank you, folks. Great work.
Bye.